All right, guys. So tomorrow is your first AP World test. First of many. You have 34 more to look forward to. So just so you know, that is coming at you. So tomorrow is your first one. It is on, please listen, both your Neolithic, Paleolithic, week 1, and this week's content. Okay, so I've already given back your focus from last week. You should be looking at that. So tonight we should be studying for homework is you should be studying your focuses, your spice, and your notes from class. Okay, what I would suggest doing from your notes is I would go through and highlight what you think are the most important things and make a little note like on the column on your notebook. That would be helpful. So don't ignore your notebook. Your textbook is really important for your assignments, but hopefully you've seen in class that I've added information in the lectures. Would you agree? Because your textbook is really great, and I think you would agree, not that it's really great, I think you would agree it's very easy to read, okay, which is really nice. You can actually learn things from your textbook, okay? With that being said, it doesn't include all the vital information I think you need for that AP exam, which is why my lectures are also really important. Do we see the difference? We have the layering of information, okay? The complexity is coming from me, but you're getting the baseline from your book. It's a relationship. So tonight, you need to study both your focus and your spice, and you need to be looking at your lecture. If you just focus on one, you're not going to do as well. Now, I'm warning you about tomorrow's test. There's a lot of pictures, there's a lot of charts, there's a lot of maps, where it's not just regurgitating information. Like, there's no question on there that says, who wrote the Code of Hammurabi? You will never see a question like that on the AP exam or in my class. With that being said, you have to be able to take the information that you've learned from your assignments, from what you've learned in class, and apply them to answer the questions on the test. Now, tomorrow, when you take your test, that is like the final piece of AP World. Once you see tomorrow's test, you're going to understand what the hell I'm talking about of how you have to apply information. Does that make sense? Right now, you're kind of like, okay, what the hell is this woman talking about? Tomorrow, when you see the questions, you're like, ah, damn it. I know this, but how do I get to there? That's where the questions are. And it's a very hard skill, and it's a skill we're going to sharpen every single week because we test every single week. Oh my God, I'm so glad you guys are excited about it because I am. It is a tough skill. I will tell you, I am going to make you a much better test taker by the end of the year just because you will see that the tests are important, but it doesn't decide everything on your grade, but it is a skill you have to have because at the end of the day, I'm teaching you to take tests. Can we agree? So the most important thing if I'm teaching you to take tests is to take tests. So tomorrow will be your first one. It is only 25 questions. Until we get to review at the end of the year in week 29, we take 25 question tests, all multiple choice. Okay, so 25 questions, all multiple choice. Hopefully you see that there are a lot of grades going in. So don't be like, oh my God, if I don't do amazing on this test, I'm going to fail AP World. That's not the case. I have had kids pass the AP exam who never got a B on my tests. Okay? If you do all of your assignments, you can get a high B, low A in my class without a problem. Is everyone clear on that? There's a lot of assignments. I care more about you doing the work than how well you're testing, which is why my tests are not worth that much. They're only worth 50 points. You have 70 points going, you have 80 points going in tomorrow into the grade book that are not a test. Does that make sense? So we're compensating. So as long as you do okay, you're going to be fine. It's a skill you have to have. What do you got? You get, so clearly you all heard that you have time tests in here. You don't have time tests till January. So I'm going to let you get used to the testing format, the testing style, the testing questions, and then I'll start timing you. Because on the AP exam, you have less than a minute per question. Yeah. So how are you going to be ready for less than a minute per question unless we train for it, right? So guess what we're going to do? We're going to train for it. So, but for the first semester, you have the whole, we'll do a do now, which is always in review of the test. Okay. Then I'll collect all of the assignments, and then you'll have the remainder of the period to finish your test, which will be more than enough time. Okay. And once you see tomorrow's test, every test's format is going to be the exact same. Just the content's going to shift. So once you see tomorrow's test, you should have a sigh of relief just because there's no surprises coming at you, really. Okay? All right? So that's tomorrow, 25 questions, all multiple choice. You really need to look at your focuses and your pieces. That'll help you with the information. Understand that just memorizing everything on that is not going to get you to pass that exam. It's not. You can try memorizing anything. However, you have to be able to use it correctly, and that's a skill, which is why we'll be taking tests every single week. Okay? Any questions that I can help make you feel a little bit better about tomorrow's test? After tomorrow's test, you're going to have way less anxiety about the test going forward. I promise. Okay? All right. Perfect. Let's go to the boards. Let's do it. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is the name of the first Jewish kingdom? What is the name of the first Jewish kingdom? Good. What is it, Shannon? Hey, Kingdom of Israel. On your whiteboard, please tell me, who makes Judaism monotheistic? Good. Who is it? Ashlyn? Moses. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what are my 3 Chinese dynasties in order so far? Good. Good. Who are they, Emily? Xia, Shang, Zhao. On your whiteboard, please tell me, Mesopotamians get bronze from what dynasty? I have a lot of wrong answers. Who is it, Daniel? Oh, you just blended 2 answers together. So no. Yeah, Egypt? No. Bronze? No. The answer is Zhao. Why is it not the Shang? Who can raise their hand and tell me why the Shang did not give it to him? Shannon. It's a state secret during the Shang. It's only traded around and spread during the Zhao. Make sure you know that. Very nice, Shannon. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is it called when the father leads the household? What is it called when the father leads the household? Patriarchy is wrong. Patriarchy is wrong. Patriarchal is also wrong. Patriarchy, patriarchal, the same. Did we not get there yesterday? Feel piety?
No.
Okay, that's fine. We'll probably start. On your whiteboard, what is it called that explains the rising and falling of dynasties? What explains the rising and falling of dynasties and justifies new rulers? Good. What is it? Brian? Mandate of heaven. On your whiteboard, what Chinese dynasty created the mandate of heaven? Who is it, Ashlyn? Zhao. On your whiteboard, please tell me what is the most unpredictable river in the world? Good. What is it? Joey?
Yellow.
Yellow. On your whiteboard, what is the most predictable river in the world? Good. What is it, Katie? Nile. Who can raise their hand and tell me why we care about predictability of rivers and flooding? Like, what's the impact of it? What's the big picture impact of it? What do you got for me, Claire?
Because that affects how forward the city is.
What the hell does that mean?
Because that gives them the time to build and develop the city.
Cool. You're missing one key word, so everything you're saying is wrong because you can't use the word. Welcome to AP World. You can't use the right word, doesn't count. You're close, but you don't get it. Sorry, girl. What do you got, Alexa?
They can build infrastructure.
Infrastructure. Literally one word would have scored you the point. Welcome to AP World. You don't get the benefit of the doubt. You have to explicitly say and make the connection in order to earn the point. Infrastructure. So what's the impact of it on infrastructure with flooding?
Well, if it floods a lot, then they can't build it because it will just get ruined by the floods.
There you go. All right, here we go. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is the name of the political and religious leader of Egypt? Good. What is it? Sam? Pharaoh. On your whiteboard, please tell me who are the 2 most important gods. If you don't know, you are more than welcome to look at your notes. Sitting there looking at me, looking at you is probably not going to help you on tomorrow's test. Can we agree? So why don't we do something about it and look through your notes? What do you got, Gabby? Amon and Ray. On your whiteboard, please tell me what is What region of the world is Egypt located in the AP world? Good. What is it, Sophie? Sophia, Middle East. On your whiteboard, please tell me who is spreading metallurgy and language through Africa? Good. Who is it, Reagan? Bantu. On your whiteboard, who is domesticating horses for the first time? Nice. I got 1. I got 2, 3, 4. Who is it, Lily? Indo-Europeans. On your whiteboard, please tell me what is the name of the 2 rivers in Mesopotamia? Good. What are they, Evelyn? There you go. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is the most centralized state during this time period? What government is the most centralized? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. What is it, Sterling? Egypt. Who can raise your hand and tell me why Egypt is the most centralized state during this time? What do you got, Gabby?
Because their pharaohs are religious.
You're not wrong. It's a theocracy. So, absolutely. But, Joey, why? What makes something centralized?
The pharaoh has absolute power, or absolute rule.
There you go. Pharaoh has to make a decision on everything, so everything has to go through them. It's not just a little bit more and it would be mwah. Got it. Okay? All right. Let's get some work done, shall we? Take out your notes. Let's do it. Okay, so we're clearly in Yellow River because we did not get to feel piety. Did we get to Oracle Bones?
No.
We finished with the mandate of heaven.
Okay. All right, here we go. So we got Mandate of Heaven, which is a good thing. It is going to be the foundation of Chinese government up until the last dynasty fails in 1918. Okay, we are patriarchy, obviously. We have, okay, so we need to know. Here we go. So you need to know that family. You need to know it's obviously patriarchal, of course. Let's be honest. Is anyone surprised here? No, you shouldn't be. You do need to know a thing called filial piety, which is right here. F-I-A-L-P-I-E-T-Y. Filial piety, which is right on my whiteboard, by the way. Filial piety is the belief that the father is the head of the family. Okay, and the father's decision rules everything. This is a cornerstone part of Chinese society to this day. Okay? Have you seen Mulan? Okay, everything is about the father. The whole house serves the father. That is filial piety. Honoring the elders. Yes, we've heard of that in Chinese tradition, right? If you're of any Asian descent, it's actually an Asian thing. Filial piety, but it really isn't going to start in China. They bow to their elders and all that stuff to show respect. Okay, if you watch Little League World Series, Team Japan is always bowing during the promos. Okay, it's because of filial piety. You show respect to the elders. Okay, so that's what it is. You need to know it's about the father being the head of the family. Oracle. Do we know about ancestral veneration? Okay, ancestral veneration. You need to have that down. Ancestral veneration. Do you need me to write it down? We got it. We got it? Perfect. All right, ancestral veneration. Anyone know what it is? Maggie?
It's the belief that their ancestors can talk to the gods.
Yeah, it's the belief that your ancestors, I wanted to switch it just a little bit for you. It's the belief that your ancestors have a direct impact on your present life. Okay? It's the belief that your dead ancestors have a direct role in your present day life. Okay? So like you can pray to like your dead grandmother, and your dead grandmother is going to make things happen for you in your present life. Going back to the Disney classic Mulan. Okay? If you've watched Mulan, it opens with her going to her family, her family, essentially kind of memory garden. And she lights the little incense and she prays that her ancestors will help her with the matchmaker, so she's not a disappointment to her family and all that stuff, okay? And then she goes off and makes a fiasco. And then eventually her ancestors like wake up, they do a big little dance number, okay? And then they send Mushu, the little dragon thingy, and they send Mushu with Mulan. That's ancestral veneration. The fact that your ancestors will play an active role in trying to make your life better. Everyone good? It's a huge component. It's a belief of that. All right, you do need to know that the Yellow River does have a pictographic written language. You need to know that pictographic written language, and it looks like this down here at the bottom. It is pictographic, which means pictures are used to explain or relate ideas. It's pictographic. It's from the Yellow River. You also need to know of a thing called oracle bones. Any of you seen Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, the second one? Okay. You know how they go and they find this like African chick, she's got the dreads, and then they go and ask her things and she throws a bunch of stuff into a turtle shell and then she reads whatever. Yeah, that's oracle bones. She's reading the oracle bones. Yeah, that's what it is. She throws in like chicken bones and other stuff, and then she does a couple incantations, and then she looks at how they lay and fall, and that's how your ancestors speak to you. You should write that down. Oracle bones is how your ancestors speak to you. Okay, so you need to know ancestral veneration, field piety, and oracle bones. These are things that are going to keep coming up throughout the rest of the year. All right, I'm okay for now on that. We're gonna go, say to two. All right, perfect, India, skip a space, India. India, you need to know that it is the Indus River Valley, what was that, oh my God. Indus River Valley is where the first civilization in India are going to be popping up. The first civilization is going to be the Harappan. The first civilization are the Harappan. Okay? You need to know that they do not have a written language. No written language, but they do have oral traditions. What is an oral tradition? Sophia?
When they pass on stories by telling them.
Yeah, for sure. Who else would be another example of some oral traditions that are closer to home? What other groups do we know closer to home that do oral traditions that did not have a writing system? The Native Americans? Yes, they used to get around in groups and tell stories. That's the reason why. Okay, you need to know that they are going to be, they have no written language and they are known for their warriors. That is what they are the proudest of. They are a warring state. Okay, we do know that they are polytheistic. They are polytheistic. And they disappear out of nowhere. We have no idea why they disappear because they are really successful. They have city planning. They have sewer systems. They're one of the more modern cities in the world, but they just disappear. We don't know why. Okay, so that's your Harappans. Then we need to know the Aryans. Here we go. The Aryans are your second civilization. Okay? So the Aryans are going to have a new language. They're going to have a written language, and it's called Sanskrit. Okay? Sanskrit is the written language of the Aryans. Sanskrit. Sanskrit looks like that. Have you ever seen Lord of the Rings? It looks like Elvish from Lord of the Rings. It's like super, super cursy and loopy and all that stuff. Kind of, yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, it just looks like that. So that's Sanskrit. You do need to know that they have a written language, and that's Sanskrit. Did you make it a little bit better? Okay, so you need to know that they have a written language called Sanskrit. And with this written language down, they write down the oral traditions from the Harappan. with this written language, they write down the oral traditions of the Harappans into 4 books called the Vedas. Okay, so the Vedas, let's write down here if you don't know how to spell. The most important one is called the Rig Veda, and you need to put a star next to it. That is very, very important. We'll be talking about it all year long. So, the Aryans are going to have Sanskrit. With this written language, they are going to write down the oral traditions of the Harappans into what we call the Vedas, the 4 Vedas. The most important one happens to be the Rig Veda. This is, and you're going to write a big star next to it, is the foundation for what religion? Hinduism. It is the foundation of Hinduism. Okay. It is the Aryans. And you need to put a star next to this, ladies and gentlemen. The Aryans are going to create the caste system. The Aryans create the caste system based on Harappan ideals. Okay? The Aryans create the caste system based on Harappan ideals. This is a very big deal. The caste system is outlawed in India today. It got outlawed in 1970. However, it is still heavily influential in India today. Like, you can go on dating apps in India and you have to put in your caste. That's how you find the lucky ladies or the handsome gentlemen, is you have to put in your caste. It is that big of a deal in 2019. 2 years ago, I had twins who are from India. They were obviously living here. They were in my class, and they are from the Brahmin caste. So they've already had their marriages planned out. They're back in India now. They are already married to like some super wealthy dudes in India. Why? Because they're Brahmin. That's how big the caste system is, ladies and gentlemen. You are going to memorize this. You don't have to memorize it for tomorrow. Listen, you don't have to memorize it for tomorrow, but you need to memorize the caste system because we're going to be talking about it every 2 weeks for the rest of your life. Here we go. At the top of the caste, and you need to write this down, you have the Brahmins. That's your top caste. They are known as the priests. Okay, they are your top caste. You need to know that your Kshatra are your warriors. Your Vaishya is your merchants. Your Shudras are your serfs. And then at the very bottom, you have your untouchables. You need to know your caste. You need to know your caste. This is the second thing I have taught you this year that will absolutely be on that AP exam. There will be an essay question where the caste system will be an answer. Guaranteed? Alright. Okay. It is a social structure. It is a rigid social structure. I'd write that down next to it. It is the most rigid social structure in the history of the world. Now, within every caste, there's subcasts. So in the Brahmin, apparently in the Brahmin caste, so the top caste, there's like 9 different levels. So when you first hit Brahmin, you're on the bottom caste. And then when you die, you go up to the next caste. And after 9 times, then you finally get to go to heaven. Okay? So you need to know the word jati is known as subcaste. So every caste has multiple layers to it. Okay? Now, your caste affects who you speak to, how much you learn, who you get married to, and where you live. Only certain people are allowed in certain areas, so it has a massive impact. You need to put a star, and you need to write, India is the most patriarchal place in the history of the world. It is the most patriarchal place in the history of the world. Okay. there's a couple things you do need to know. Okay. You do need to know there's a thing called reincarnation. You need to write that down. That's one of the cores of Hinduism. Hinduism includes the caste system. Hinduism includes the Jatis. Hinduism includes what we call reincarnation. What is reincarnation? Anyone know? What is it, Joey?
Believe that you will come back down to earth.
Yeah. So, the Hindus believe that everyone lives their life, whether you live a good life or a bad life, okay? And when you die, you come back to earth. Now, if you did well in your previous life, you go. If you did poor, if you were mean and like you murdered people and you're just a terrible human being, you go down. So, when you look at your caste system, okay, if you're an untouchable, what does that tell the rest of the world? You are a horrible person in your previous life, so you deserve to be treated like trash. And guess what? They are treated like trash. They literally are the ones responsible for cleaning up the trash. Literally, untouchables live in trash, like where the trash gets thrown in India. Like today, 2019. Your rat catchers in India are all of your untouchables. Okay? Why are they treated horribly and absolutely inhumanely? Is because in their previous lives, they were apparently terrible human beings, which is why they're there. Why do we respect the Brahmins as much as we do? Because they have been amazing people for life after life after life, so they have earned our respect. You see how the system works. So, if you're a good person in your previous life, you go up. If you're a bad person in your previous life, you go down. Reagan.
So when you're born, are you assigned a caste?
Yeah, your parents' caste. You're born into your parents' caste.
Okay.
So, if your parents were born into a Brahmin, you are living the comfy life. If you're an untouchable, you're going to have a pretty terrible life. And that's still the case in 2019, even though it's illegal. It's illegal, but everyone still does it. Okay. All right, perfect. That is the end of content. Oh, just kidding. Mesoamerica! Here we go. Oh my god, I got so excited for a second. I was like, oh my god, are we ahead? And then I was like, no. Mesoamerica! Okay, you need to know that the first people are coming across the land bridge from Asia. Okay, the first people are coming across from Asia. Okay, they are going to walk over, and that's how we get Americans. Okay. So the first civilization in the Americas are called the Olmecs. You need to know them. They are the foundation of every American civilization. The Olmecs, they have a nickname called the Rubber People, and you need to know it. Why are they called the Rubber People? Why, Reagan?
Is it because of like this?
I don't know either. They're called the Rubber People because everywhere they went, they planted rubber trees. They just liked them. We don't know. They didn't make rubber things because it would have lasted. But everywhere they went, they planted rubber trees. We don't know if it has a religious connotation or what, but they just always planted the rubber trees. You do know rubber used to come from trees, right? Gum, chewing gum, up until the 1950s, used to come from trees. Yeah. And now we have chemicals to make it, so we don't use it from trees anymore. But yeah, anyway. They are known for making massive head sculptures. In AP art, you're going to study one. They have massive head sculptures. Okay? If you're going to spend all of your time transporting these massive rocks, okay, and carving them, why do you think they made them? Religious. They're probably religious. Now, do we know definitively? No. But if you're going to spend all this time doing it, aren't you probably trying to save your soul for the eternity, right? So they're probably religious, but we don't know. They're super big and heavy. Okay, in America, you need to know they do not have great crops. The most important crop in America until Christopher Columbus gets there is maize. Maize is also known as corn. That is the most important crop. Now, if you know anything about corn, is it super nutritious or not? No. Corn is actually a terrible vegetable. It's delicious. One of my faves. Don't get me wrong. However, popcorn is also one of my favorite snacks. I'm just going to put that out there. However, it has like practically no nutritious value, and our bodies can't break it down completely. So their entire civilization is based on a crop that A, we can't digest, and B, isn't really that nutritious anyway. So, is it easy or hard to live in the Americas? Hard. It is very, very hard to live in the Americas. Nutrition is a huge problem. They also have no beasts of burden. What is a beast of burden? What is a beast of burden, Lily? Yes! So they don't have any beast. The only beast of burden they have is the llama. No one looks at a llama and says, damn llama, you working hard today. No one. No one. So who is doing all the work? People. So to plant all this corn that has no nutritious value practically, you have to burn tons and tons and tons and tons of calories to plant it to harvest food that, let's be honest, isn't going to replenish you. Nutrition is a huge problem. So do they have large populations or small populations? Small populations. If anything goes wrong with their corn crop, guess what happens to the whole village? They die. It is very, very hard to live there. Now, you are going to write the term conscripted. They use conscripted labor, and you're going to underline and put a star because we're going to be using this term all year long. Conscripted labor is when people are forced to do physical labor to pay debts. Conscripted labor is when people are forced to do labor in order to pay debts like taxes. Conscripted labor is when people are forced to do physical work in order to pay a debt like taxes. So, they do not.
Interruption. If you would like a case of water for your classroom,
Are we
please send one student
still on
down
boiled water?
to the hallway by
Yeah.
the auditorium, leading into the cafeteria at this time. Thank you.
Seriously? I mean, I'm kind of not mad about it because I kind of like having water in my classroom. It's like, you know, I'm kind of a water snob, so it's not the worst thing. But moving forward, conscripted labor. You need to know people use it. That's how they pay off debts. This is going to be a very American thing. Okay, it's a way, instead of paying taxes, like here in 2019, April 15th, your parents owe taxes. So me and my husband on April 15th will write a big check to the U.S. government and we'll deposit it. Okay, and then all that money is gone. Well, because they don't have any beasts of burden in the Americas, what is the most valuable thing? People and moving things and building things. So instead of writing a check or paying in grain, which they don't have that much of, right? Because they can't take food away from people because all their people are going to starve. So what they do is they make them do work. Dig some ditches, build the structure. So maybe 2 weeks a year, you're not farming. 2 weeks a year, you're building a road. You're building a building. And that's how you pay off your debt to the government. Okay? So that's conscripted labor. You're going to see that over and over again. Okay? They disappear. We don't know what happens to them. They disappear. What do you think probably happened? Christian? Huh? Well, obviously Christian, or they dispersed. But what do you think probably went wrong? Sterling?
Something happened with their crops.
Probably, for sure. I mean, the crops are so important and so picky. Perfect. Next one's your Mayans. Okay. Anyone been to central Mexico and saw a Mayan temple? There you go. The ancient Mayans. These are them. You've been to central Mexico and saw the Mayan temples, the little staggered ones? That's them. They're going to be around for about 600 years. The Mayans come second after the Olmecs. Olmecs are first, that's the second major civilization. You need to know that they create something called terrace farming. That is their big invention. They are growing maize and cotton. Okay? Terrace farming is when you cut a mountainside and you cut flat land into it so the water doesn't drain off of it. It looks like someone made a stairway to heaven for giants. Honestly. Okay, so here's your mountain. Okay, so obviously all the water is going to run down the mountain. So what they do is they cut into the mountain and they make little steps. It's pretty smart. So then what's going to happen to all the water? Yeah, it's going to feed the crops. And it happens to look like, big giants walking to heaven. What do you got?
Are the crops like on the steps?
Yeah, this is where the crops grow.
They kind of look like people. Shit. There, I drew a bush. I don't know if that's helpful.
Sorry. Yeah, the crops grow on the steps so that way the water doesn't wash off. and take the crops with them. Okay, they are also going to use for currency cacao beans. What are cacao beans used for? Chocolate. They use cacao beans as currency. Could you imagine if our currency grew on a tree? How amazing would that be? I know people think, yes, it used to. Okay, so they used to use cacao beans as currency. That's how important they were. They're also going to be known for their war. They were pretty good warriors, and they used to enslave their enemies. Why do you think they would go fight wars to enslave people, Christian? Yes, and because they have no beast of burden, right? Everything has to be done by human power. So would you rather do it or get a slave to do it? There you go. Obviously, slavery is wrong. Like, I'm not telling you slavery is a great idea. But if you didn't have to do it and you can make a slave do it, you know, slavery is wrong. I'm not condoning slavery. However, that's why they did it. They're also doing ritual sacrifice. This is a very American thing. Okay? Pretty much all of your ancient American civilizations, coming to the pinnacle of the Aztecs, of course, do ritual sacrifice. Who can tell me what ritual sacrifice or ritual bloodletting is? Come on, this is a cool part of history, people. What is it, Shannon?
Isn't it when you like chop someone up for the gods?
Yes, you kill people in the honor of your god. It's pretty cool. So they thought if we killed a bunch of people in the name of a god, then God would shine down their kindness on them. That's the Aztecs. We're not there. They used to just cut their throat and bleed them.
Oh.
So kind of anticlimactic, because when you got the Aztecs, you got a blood slide. A massive temple, and then they used to have a target you used to chuck them at.
Oh.
Yeah, Aztecs do it better, but this is where it starts. Don't worry, we'll get to it. Okay, you need to know that the Mayans create the number 0. They are the first in the world to do it. Now, when we talk about the Americas, they're going to be behind pretty much for everyone else, but they're ahead in a couple of things, and their calendar is that. They have the number 0. Because they have the number 0, they can create the world's most accurate calendar. You need to write that down. Okay, that's why everyone was freaking out in what year was it? Everyone was freaking out in 2014, 2012? Okay, because the Mayan calendar ended. Girl, the reason why the Mayan calendar ended is because they're doing this in 800 BCE. The guy got tired of sitting there and being like, damn it. We're not going to see this time. Who cares? They got tired in 2012. That's why they stopped doing it. That's why no one died in 2012, because the Mayan calendar ended. But it was the thing. Okay, you need to know. Okay, they do have a writing system, but it's only for math. They do have a writing system, it's only for math. Okay? Math and religious dates. That's it. Alright, they also do a ball game. AP likes this stuff. Like I said, I don't think it's going to be an exam. They play a ball game, and the people who win live. The people who die, people who lose die. They kind of spoil the ending right there. Yeah, they play a game. It's for the gods. So, that's, I guess.
Are they just like, oh, well.
It's straight baseball.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. Can you imagine if we implemented this with the Little League? Sorry, I'm obsessed with the Little League World Series. I've been watching it. I love it. I love it. These kids are having the best time and they're just so happy. But imagine if we implemented it. Because it's the only thing I've been watching lately. However, the kids are so cute. And there's a couple of chicks. There's a couple girls on these teams. It was awesome. These chicks. Anyway, moving forward from my past comment. You have a test tomorrow. I did cover content. 25 questions, all multiple choice. Do you want to review a little bit, or do you want to put your boards back? Here we go. On your whiteboard, please tell me. What is the name of the original civilization in the Americas? What is the name of the original civilization in the Americas? Good. I got 1, 2, 3. Evan. Olmec. On your whiteboard. How did people get from Asia to the Americas? Good. What do we got? Katie. Land bridge. On your whiteboard, please tell me what is the name. Please tell me what is the most important crop to the Americas? Good. What is it? Joey. On your whiteboard, please tell me what is my top tier of the caste system? The best you can. Good. What is it, Gabby? Brahmin. On your whiteboard, what is it called when you die and you come back to Earth, either going up or down in your caste? Good. What is it, Brian? Reincarnation. Who is the founding civilization in the Indus River Valley? Who is the founding civilization in the Indus River Valley? Good. Who is it, Ainsley? I'm sorry, I don't know. Ashlyn, I'm so sorry, my darling. Hairpins. On your whiteboard, the hairpins are the foundation for the fourth largest religion in the world. What is that religion? Good. What do we got, Jared? Hinduism. On your whiteboard, please tell me what are the name of the holy books of Hinduism that is based on hairpin oral traditions? Good. What is it, Slav? Vedas. On your whiteboard, please tell me what is the most important Veda? Good. What is it, Lily? The Rig Veda. On your whiteboard, please tell me who is at the bottom of the caste system? Who is at the bottom? Good. Who is it? Emily. Untouchables. On your whiteboard, please tell me if you could pick one of these civilizations to live in, which one would you want to? This is your own personal opinion. There's no correct answer here. Okay. All right. I see a lot of Egypt. I'd pick Egypt too. Yeah. As a woman, I would stay away from India. You don't want to be there. I haven't even talked to you about, like, if your husband dies in India, you throw your body onto the burial plow, and then you commit suicide in order to honor your husband. And if you don't honor your husband, you're considered a whore, and then they beat you to death and stone you to death. So you have no choice. You might as well do an honor. Bye, guys. Have a great day. There you go, ladies. Hope you're happier in America. Goodbye. Make sure you put your boards back. Tomorrow, 25 questions, multiple choice. Have a good day.